In this video, we're going to see how two budget microphones stack up against the Blue Yeti, which is one of the most popular USB microphones on the market. Planet, Earth, Galaxy. These types of mics are for people who want to record audio, like their voice, for things like streaming, like gaming videos, tutorials, podcasts, vlogs, Skype, Zoom, anything like that. All right, so to start the video, I'm just gonna go over the features and functions of each mic, and then we'll do some sound tests so you can see how they stack up against each other. For the sound test, I'm gonna do one that's just recording dead air, one that's just a regular voice with no editing, another one where I do the same regular voice, but now I'm gonna add like noise reduction and some EQ, and then I'll do one where there's some like
great disturbance in the force.
Disturbances in the sound, like being too close or too far away from the mic. And then I'll end with some like ASMR type stuff so you can see how that sounds if you're into that kind of thing. Oh, and just so you know, as I talk about each mic, I'll be recording with that mic, so you can get a better sense of how it sounds in more of a real world situation. And obviously, if you want to hear the difference between each mic a little more clearly, then make sure you put on some good headphones if you got them. Let's go.
All right, so the cheapest mic that I'll be testing is the ZaxSound SF666 Pro, which is $24.99 US on Amazon.com. It comes with a mic holder / stand and two adapters. The cable for the mic is permanently attached and has a 3.5mm connection, which means it can also be used with your DSLR camera, unlike the other two more expensive mics. This is how the ZaxSound mic sounds when plugged into my Panasonic G9. What do you think? To connect the mic to your computer, there's an adapter that splits the 3.5mm jack into a USB connection on one end and a 3.5mm headphone jack on the other. The second adapter splits the 3.5mm jack into a 3.5mm jack on one end and a 3.5mm headphone jack on the other. Microphone number 2 is the FiFine K669B, which is $56.99 on Amazon.ca. But if you're looking for a similar priced mic on Amazon.com, try one of these Mono mics instead. This mic comes with a small stand, and that's it. Its cable is also permanently attached, but it's a USB connection on the end instead. But one feature that the FiFine mic has that the ZaxSound one doesn't is a volume knob, which allows you to adjust your recording right on the mic, as well as in the recording software that you use like OBS Studio. One notable thing missing from this mic though is a headphone jack. And then finally we have the Blue Yeti, which is $129.99 US on Amazon.com. This microphone has a pretty nice stand. Its cable, which also has a USB connection, is removable, and it has a headphone jack on the bottom. This time, the volume knob on the front controls the volume you hear in your headphones, as this mic allows you to monitor audio levels while recording. The other button on the front is a noise-canceling mute button. On the back, it has a knob for adjusting gain, which is where you adjust your recording volume on this mic. And finally, what really sets this mic apart from the other two is the ability to record in different modes or patterns. For example, besides recording from directly in front for voiceovers or things like that, you can switch it so it records from opposite directions at the same time, which is good for interviews. And you can also switch it to a stereo mic, which essentially records in all directions equally.
So what do you think so far? Is the Blue Yeti worth 3 times as much as the FiFine mic? I'm not so sure. Now, since I myself don't use any of those other modes, I was actually really curious whether I bought a more expensive mic that sounds better or just a more expensive mic that has a bunch of extra features that I will never use.
I think I get scammed way too much.
To find out more, now let's do some more tests, starting with just some dead air recordings. Now, the dead air does include the fan from my computer in the background to give it, again, more of a real world scenario, because when I'm recording, my computer is going, so I do hear that all the time and I have to get rid of it.
Round 1, fight!
This is the ZaxSound mic recording dead air. This is the FiFine mic recording dead air. This is the Blue Yeti recording dead air.
Next, I'm going to record a simple voiceover with each mic, and what you're going to hear is going to come straight from the mic, recorded in OBS Studio with no editing at all. Then I'm going to follow that with the same clip, pretty much, that has been edited a little bit in Premiere Pro by adding a little bit of denoise and some parametric EQ, and that's about it.
Round 2, fight.
This is the audio recording sample from the ZaxSound SF666 condenser mic. This recording has not been edited. This is the audio recording sample from the ZaxSound SF666 condenser microphone. This recording has been edited with some noise reduction and EQ. This is the audio recording sample from the FiFine K669B USB microphone. This recording has not been edited. This is the audio recording sample from the FiFine K669B USB microphone. This recording has been edited with some noise reduction and EQ. This is the audio recording sample from the Blue Yeti USB microphone. This recording has not been edited. This is the audio recording sample from the Blue Yeti USB microphone. This recording has been edited with some sound reduction and EQ.
Now, for my final tests, I'm just gonna mess with the audio a little bit. So at first, I'm just gonna make all the levels too high to try and make the audio clip and see if we can fix that. And then I'm gonna make everything too quiet or like back away from the mic to see if we can recover our levels to make it sound normal-ish. Let's go.
Final round, fight.
How does the ZaxSound mic handle a recording where either the levels are too high, which might cause clipping, and or when the levels are so low that you will for sure need to boost them way up in post? How does the ZaxSound mic handle a recording where either the levels are too high, which might cause clipping, and or when the levels are so low that you will for sure need to boost them way up in post? How does the FiFine mic handle a recording where either the levels are too high, which might cause clipping, and or when the levels are so low that you will for sure need to boost them way up in post? How does the FiFine mic handle a recording where either the levels are too high, which might cause clipping, and or when the levels are so low that you will for sure need to boost them way up in post? How does the Blue Yeti mic handle a recording where either the levels are too high, which might cause clipping, and or when the levels are so low that you will for sure need to boost them way up in post? How does the Blue Yeti mic handle a recording where either the levels are too high, which might cause clipping, and or when the levels are so low that you will for sure need to boost them way up in post?
And then I guess just as a bonus, let's do a little bit of ASMR recording with each mic, because maybe that's the reason why you're trying to look for a mic. I mean, seriously though, who am I to judge what kind of weird stuff you're into?
This is the ZaxSound mic with recording levels set for optimum ASMR performance. Does it sound good when I whisper into the mic? Or what about when I make noises that are close to the mic, like this? This is the FiFine mic set to optimum ASMR levels. Does it sound good when I whisper like a scared little kitten? Or how about when I make some noises that are really close to the mic, like this? This is the Blue Yeti microphone with recording levels set for optimum ASMR performance. Does it sound good when I whisper like a psychopath? Or how about when I make noises really close to the mic, like this?
So, what do you think? Well, based on what I heard, there's definitely a difference between the ZaxSound mic and the other two. But between the other two, FiFine and the Blue Yeti, the difference is not as extreme as I thought it might be. So basically then you just have to ask yourself, what are you getting the mic for? Now, if you can get away with not needing those extra recording patterns, or if you don't need to monitor your sound as you're recording, then you can probably get away with saving a lot of money and going with a mic like the FiFine mic. Now, if you want to see more microphone comparisons, I'm going to do another video that compares one of these mics, probably the FiFine mic, somewhere in that price range, to a similarly priced headset recording thingamabobber, and one that's USB to Lapel, to see which one reigns supreme. All right, so that's all I got for now. If you got something out of this video, make sure to drop a like, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and I will catch you next time.